Hey guys, it's Otto here, back with another video. So if you have an agency or you're a freelancer and you're struggling to get e-commerce clients, then this video is going to show you a incredibly specific, unique hack that I've used in my agency, which quite frankly, I'm surprised by why nobody else does it, okay? So if you're looking for a very quick, simple, yet effective hack that will actually get you traction when reaching out to e-commerce leads to the point where you can actually close them, then this video is for you. All right, so if you don't know about me, I run an ecom email agency. I've done so for the last 6 years now. The business is largely productized and it's almost to the extent where it's fully automated at this stage. We've done over 10 million in agency sales. We've pushed products for the likes of brands like Nike, Calvin Klein, Velux, and many, many more, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is give you a solution to this problem. Now, you are probably sat there saying to yourself, e-commerce is too saturated and that's why I can't get clients, all right? But the fact that, or the kind of misnomer that e-com is oversaturated is one of the biggest mistruths in the industry, okay? And actually, sometimes, and in most cases, e-commerce clients are some of the best clients you can actually have in terms of retention, okay? So what I'm going to do here is go through this specific hack, all right? And again, watch to the end of this video because I guarantee it's something that you've not done yet, all right? But before we get into that, what we need to kind of understand is, I guess, why we actually need to do this in the first place, okay? And the reason that you're probably struggling to get e-com clients is one of the three, or actually 1, 2, 3 of the three below, okay? So e-com clients, right? And the reason that you're probably struggling is because you're not doing these things. So the first thing you have to do to get some sort of engagement from an e-com brand is you have to be able to demonstrate legitimate, genuine, authentic interest in their brand, okay? Now that might sound like a given, all right? Interest. That might sound like, oh, that's, you know, if this whole video is going to be like generic advice like that, then I'm already doing it. I can click off now. I implore you to carry on watching because it's not, okay? But before you go out to these types of clients, you have to be able to show them that you have a genuine interest in their brand, okay? And what we're not talking about here is like delivering value. Okay, to send you more information, that's not a genuine interest in their specific brand, all right? The second one, and I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? The second one is that you have to stand out from the noise, all right? So in order to actually be able to close e-com clients, to close brand owners themselves, you have to be able to stand out in the sea of, you know, other agency owners, 15-year-olds in their mum's basement trying to get their own e-com clients, all right? So stand out from the noise is the second one, is the reason that you're probably not getting enough traction, all right? And the third one, most important of all, is trust, okay? People buy from people, they don't buy from businesses. And if you're not able to generate trust and generate trust in the right way and quick enough, then you won't be able to actually get these prospects on a call. You won't be able to pitch them your solution. You won't be able to close them, okay? So this is the groundwork done, all right? Box ticked, okay? We've got the understanding here. Now we need to put in place a couple of key kind of systems and tools that you have to make sure you have before you can actually use the strategy I'm going to tell you about, okay? So the first one is you need to clearly identify your ICP. Now, if you don't know what ICP stands for your ideal client profile, okay? And what you need to do in the e-com space is get very, very specific. So when it comes to e-com email marketing, for example, we know that our ICP is a brand with no less than 10K members on their list. The ICP for us, we know, has multiple SKUs. So they don't just have one hero product, or they're not in a research and development phase of their brand genesis. They actually have multiple products, multiple SKUs that we can leverage in our email campaigns and in our flows for cross-selling, downselling, and the like. And then the third one here is you have to make sure that you have your own systems set up in order to actually be able to identify these, okay? So we use predominantly B2B databases like Apollo. There's a load of different tools on the market, okay? And the third one, I guess technically, that we can add into here is about their ad spend and tech stack, okay? So we'll look specifically at brands that have a specific tech stack, and ideally that brand needs to be spending money on the acquisition front end so that we can build out our retention structures for them, all right? So once we've got our ICP clearly defined, the remaining two things that you need to make this strategy actually successful is a ESP, so an email service provider. Now we use Instantly. There's other tools on the market, but instantly is unanimously the best. And this is what you're going to use to actually send out your cold emails and get a way for your prospects to actually respond to you. And then the third element here of getting your systems and your internal processes in order are your sales assets, okay? So very, very simply and quickly, all you need, and hopefully you can see that, is a logo, a landing page, and a LinkedIn personal profile, okay? Now these three are practically all I had in the first 5 years of my business to actually give my prospects and leads a place to find more information out about myself. I hadn't produced content, I didn't have an online course, I was doing nothing else than leveraging assets like these, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is actually talk you through the specific process, okay? Now remember what I talked about showing and demonstrating genuine interest. You've got to cut through the noise and you've got to instantly command trust. And I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? So the way that we do this and achieve all three, and if you are running an agency and you're trying to get ecom clients, this is a strategy for you, okay? The best and quickest way to actually show and demonstrate genuine interest is to actually vote with your dollars or your pounds and buy from the company, all right? So if they are a company that match your ICP and perhaps it's, you know, phone cases or trinkets or jewelry, whatever it might be, depending on where you are at in your agency genesis and depending on where your cash flow is and your sort of cash flow reserves are, the best and quickest way to tick all of these three boxes here is to actually buy a product from them, okay? Now you might be thinking, oh, I've watched to this point in this video, that's ridiculous. I can't go and buy a Gucci bag or I can't spend 10 grand or whatever it is, you know. Obviously, in those cases, you can't buy a product, and I'm going to show you an alternative to what you can do, which is a free alternative, okay? But ideally, if you have the budget, if the brand that you're reaching out to has a low-ticket product, or maybe they have samples, whatever it might be, buy the product from them, okay? And there's obviously going to be two things you get from this. One thing is a receipt or proof of order, and one thing is the product in hand physically, okay? Now this is important and you're going to leverage this going into the next step, okay? If you can't do this, I'm going to change my pen. If you want a free option, and we'll talk about this in the case of ecom email marketing, join their newsletter, okay? And by joining their newsletter, you're actually going to get put on their list and you're going to receive the first video, the first email in their welcome series. Okay, so just as if you were a customer signing up, which you might be, you want to get a 5% discount, whatever their offer is, 5 or 10% discount, you're going to join and you're going to get something in hand from the brand, okay? And what they're going to get from you is your contact details, which is value, okay? So when we talk about value, you know, you've got to demonstrate value up front. It's all about giving value before you ask for anything. 9 times out of 10, the value that you are trying to put forward to them is not valuable, okay? They don't want to sit on an hour-long call with you, practically nobody, doing an audit. It's not useful to them. It's going to waste their time. It's putting too much risk on them, okay? They, 9 times out of 10, probably don't even want to click a link. They don't want to receive something from you, okay? So if you do one of these two things, you're going to instantly show that you have genuine interest, specifically if you bought a product. And again, this might be a brand where their low ticket items are very, very cheap. It might cost £5, okay? And if you think about it, if you spend £5 or say $5 to acquire that client and you close them and they turn into a client that you have for 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months plus, whatever it might be, your cost of acquisition for that client practically has been $5, okay? So any of you guys that are running ads, anybody in the ad space world will know that a $5 cost of acquisition for a service where you're charging $5,000 a month or $15,000 upfront for a build and release offer, whatever it might be, is an incredibly efficient way of doing business. It's very, very low, okay? So very quickly here, what I'm going to do is tell you what you need to do with these, okay? And I'm going to move over here because I'm running out of space, move my mic, all right? So in terms of your cold outreach, we've got our ESP set up here. What you want to do is leverage what we call the double bump sequence, okay? I'm going to do it here, double bump, okay? And the double bump sequence is going to be 2 emails, email 1 plus email 2. And what you're going to do in email 1, you're going to use the subject line very specifically, okay, subject line. What you're going to put in there is your order number and your name, okay? So you're going to, from here, when you've bought the product or you've got your receipt, put in an order number, type into the subject line order number and put your name, whatever it is, Otto Frederick, whatever your name is, okay? in the body copy, what you need to do is put something forth that is very, very quick and dirty, very simple, and not ideally not grammatically correct. Okay, so something that you fired off. All right. So maybe the ICP here, the decision maker, the contact details. Say it's John, whatever it might be. Maybe just write a quick email saying John, and then what you want to talk about is the fact that you've bought a product from them. Okay, so I've loved the brand for so many years. I've just bought this, and ideally, what you want to do in this double bump sequence is actually take a photo of yourself, so a selfie of yourself holding the product, smiling, whatever it might be, doing what you're saying in email number 1. Okay, but don't attach it yet. All right. So in the first email, and remember, with cold outreach, the goal is always engagement. Okay. So you're not trying to close a client on this call. You're not trying to get them to pay on a payment link. You just want them to reply. Okay. The worst types of responses you get from cold email outreach is no response. Okay. You want a positive response, a neutral response, or a negative response. Okay. So take a picture of yourself with the product. If you can't wait or don't want to wait, what you can do is take a screenshot of the receipt, print out the receipt, take a picture of you, a selfie with the receipt, whatever it might be. Or equally, if you're going the free option here, you can take a screenshot of the newsletter and highlight various elements of it, okay? So in here, in email number 1, you want to make that clear that you've actually taken genuine interest in the brand and you're a real person, and that interest is authentic. Then what you want to do is basically say to them, kind of in a somewhat flippant, casual manner, interestingly enough, we actually run a business, I've been doing this 5 years, whatever it might be, where we help brands like you. I did notice a couple of things with the welcome series or the abandoned cart flow or any element of what they are doing currently with their marketing setup that I think could change actually and will help you. All right, I've recorded a very quick screen share on it. I'd love to send this over to you. Does it work if I send it to this email? Okay, don't use the lazy ask, the lazy CTA, okay, to send you more info. All right, nobody wants more info. They don't know what that info is going to do for them. They don't know what you're going to send them. It's too open-ended. Okay, so tell them what you're going to send them. It's a Loom video. It shows you X, Y, Z, and then actually do the video and send them that. Prove to them that you are who you say you are and that you will do what you will say you have done. Okay. So the second one here, and like I say, don't attach anything to this email. Don't put a link in it or anything like that. The second email, you want to send this 2 minutes later, with a subject line that simply just says apologies, okay? Lowercase, no capital A, apologies. And in the body copy, what you want to do is attach the selfie of you with a product, and then you want to put a clear CTA, okay? And in terms of putting a clear CTA, what you do not want to do is put a link to your Calendly or your Go High Level, scheduler. You want to say to them, give them a very easy yes or no question. You want to say to them a specific time and a specific day, okay? And 9 times out of 10, speed and speed can create a deal and a successful environment for a deal, and time will kill a deal. Okay, so if time elapses, if you say, oh, I want to speak to you, are you free 2 p.m. in 4 weeks time, they're obviously going to say no. It's going to be hard for them to reply. Act quickly, show urgency. Does 4 p.m. today work for a quick 5 minutes to go over it? Okay. That's how you want to approach this, all right? So very, very quickly, guys, I wanted to make that video a lot quicker than it was, but show genuine interest, cut through the noise, build trust instantly, and leverage this strategy here. It's incredibly cheap. If you don't want to spend anything on, the kind of cost of actually you acquiring clients, which is going to be impossible for you at some point in your business, leverage the free strategy here. All right, guys, hopefully that's been clear. Drop me a comment below with your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right, cheers.